Okay, let's get into this one right here. Well, the NBA continues to put their gamblers in a trap. Did you really think LeBron James and the Lakers were going to lose last night against the Raptors? Oh, yeah, very interesting. They just lost against the Hornets. They lost against the Blazers. Wow, they put you gamblers in a trap. And even, you thought the Rockets, not the Rockets, you thought the Nuggets was going to win last night against the Hornets, right? An easy team to beat because the Nuggets have been doing the damn thing. But guess what, guys? This is the NBA, guys. This is the LeBron James era. This is the LeBron James league where nothing makes sense at all. Everything is fucked up. And you're trying to make sense out of it. I don't gamble. But in the LeBron James league, in the LeBron James era, you're trying to make sense of all this that doesn't make any sense as an addicted gambler, and you lose because the NBA makes 0 sense at all. 0. And why would it, guys? It's the LeBron James era. So like I said, teams are going to throw games. You don't know what player has money on these games with their brother and their mama and their sister and their uncle and their auntie and little Mookie that they knew when they was growing up. You don't know. And like we said, they never get to the big boys. That's how organized crime is, guys. You ever seen that movie Deep Cover, right, with Lawrence Fishburne? And he I know you guys seen that. Lawrence Fishburne, Deep Cover. It's got the Dr. Dre and what's his name, Snoop Dogg soundtrack on it. But anyways, he becomes a cop after his father dies. His father robs a store. I don't know, his father was a junkie or whatever like that. So his father robbed the store with him in the car when he was like, I don't know, about 6, 7 years old. And his father comes out with the money after he robbed the store. But the clerk came right, well, he was like waving the money at him, saying, see, son, look what you can get, or something. He was drunk or whatever like that. He probably drunk and on drugs. And but when he came out waving the money to his son like he did something, the clerk came behind him and shot him in the damn back and blew his guts all over the place. It was crazy. And so Lawrence Fishburne, he grew up and he became a cop, right? And where was he? I was in New York or something. Either they was in New York or LA. I think it was LA. And anyways, they wanted him, the police department, to go undercover and try to take out like these big boys that was, big time drug dealers, the cartels and all this stuff. First, he started at like the street level to try to find out who was the big guys that was selling it to the guys at the street level. And once he got past the street level big time guys, he started getting to the guys in the suits and ties that was bringing the drugs into the poor communities, right? And he thought he could keep going up the ladder because he was getting up to the big boys. Long story short, once he got to the big boys and he thought he could take them down, they stopped him. The police department stopped him because what he found out was it was the politicians in the United States, in I think it was a Central American cartel, I think Colombian or something like that. But he found out it was the politicians in the United States and in South America bringing in the drugs, and he wanted to take them down, and they wouldn't let him. They wouldn't let him because those people were off limits, guys. So it's a good movie if you want to see it. It's crazy. It's one of my top 5 movies of all time. And that's what I'm just trying to tell you guys. When they come out with these dumbass reports, now they don't come out with this college scandal, with these little time schools, all they're trying to tell you is everybody's doing it, guys. Everybody's doing it. Don't be an idiot. The big boys will never get caught. In the NBA too, the big boys will never get caught, because when the big boys get caught, now a whole bunch of other big boys got to get caught. That's just how it is, guys. And every once in a while, I'm not trying to say with this, but they'll with other things, they'll get a big boy once in a while. But what do? They end up letting him out because he's part of their crew. So you got to make it look like there's some type of justice for the big boys, right? Bill Cosby let him out. OJ got away. And I'm not trying to say whether these guys are guilty or not. What I'm trying to say with these guys, they're all doing it. What OJ was accused of, they all doing it. And I'm not trying to say the murder thing. I'm just trying to say the type of stuff that happens in Hollywood. What Bill Cosby was doing, it ran rapid in Hollywood. All they're trying to tell, P. Diddy, what he did, ran rapid in Hollywood. All these type of people, Epstein, what he's doing or what he did. Everybody was doing, all these elites and politicians and famous people, they all doing it, guys. That's all they're trying to tell you. Don't be an idiot. So, I'm just trying to tell you, with this gambling thing, and they took down, who was that? Was it Damon Jones or something like that? And these other two little nobodies, guess what? They're just trying to tell you everybody's doing it. What Gilbert Arenas came out, got caught, got to the jail, came out literally laughing because he knows ain't shit gonna happen to him. Because he's just a little pawn in the whole thing to tell you a lot of people is doing this stuff at their home. Not just Gilbert Arenas. You think they're gonna try to take Gilbert Arenas down for real? Man, Gilbert Arenas be done snitched on everybody. That's why he was laughing. He was like, these niggas ain't got nothing on me. I be done told everything, right? What they doing with the LeBron James steroid scandal, right? What they doing? They telling you all them players were doing it, guys. All of them. All of them. Same thing with the Barry Bonds. All of them was doing it, guys. See, deep down, y'all care about these sports players more than you're supposed to care about them. Oh, Barry Bonds, he should be in the Hall of Fame, this and that and that and this. Let me tell you what, Barry Bonds is rich, guys. He could give a damn less at the end of the day if he's in the Hall of Fame. He cares about being rich. And I know that sounds crazy, like, oh man, how could you say that? And I'm just saying, guys, do you care about being in the Hall of Fame or you care about being rich? This guy is rich. This guy don't, at the end of the day, he ain't crying himself to sleep over being in the Hall of Fame. And he just knows he had to be the fall guy for a lot of them. A fall guy. All of them was doing steroids, guys. All of them. 95% of them was doing steroids, right? Coaches knew, owners knew, the league knew, everybody was doing it. But Barry Bonds, remember, Barry Bonds was also used as a smokescreen because as they kept, when he retired, he was a smokescreen for you not to even focus on. They was kicking all the American players out of American baseball or out of the major leagues, right? He was a smokescreen at the back end, right? That's all he was. So for the LeBron James thing, they know not to fuck with him because he's the type of dude, he be done snitched everybody out. Everybody. Unclutched sports ain't about to go down without a fight. You even got stupid people like Kevin Garnett that recently, again, said that, yeah, he on that new juice, or he on that Balco, whatever. Explain, Kevin Garnett, quit sounding like an idiot. They was having a back and forth, him and Paul Pierce. I could have sworn I heard this before, and somebody just put out a video and said it was a new allegation. But him and Paul Pierce were going back and forth saying, oh yeah, Bronny can score on his father. Yeah, Bronny can beat his father. And then Paul Pierce saying, no. And then Kevin Garnett said, yeah, man, yeah, he can score on him. Something like that. He going back and forth talking about, no, Bronny can't beat Bron, man. Bronny can't beat Bron. It's like the dumbest conversation you ever heard in your life. They basically ain't talking about nothing. And then Kevin Garnett says, his father on that new juice or on that Balco, something like that. Like, okay, explain, dude. Just don't just throw some wild ass shit out there and you can't even break it down and explain. This is where we are with these idiot, like, these guys supposed to make hundreds of millions of dollars and they on a podcast, guys. Pretty sad. And then you wonder why nobody can make money on social media because you got all these NBA players who's supposed to be made hundreds of millions of dollars in their career. And now all of a sudden they're podcasting. Hell, they're podcasting as they're playing. Today, they're podcasting. Where is their money? Like I said, guys, these guys never made the money we were told. Never. Never. That's why they got a podcast. Listen, listen, guys. Say you got to be a fool. If I made hundreds of millions, not even look, I'm gonna just say it like this. If I made millions, if I made tens of millions, if I made hundreds of millions of dollars in my career as a sports player, there's no 1 second of my time on this earth I would be sitting there podcasting, wasting my fucking time. None at all. Zero. Talking about another man playing sports. There's no way, guys. If you want to do that and waste the little time you have on this earth, and you supposedly have millions, tens of millions, and hundreds of millions of dollars from playing this sport, then good for you. You are wasting your damn time on this earth, guys. You're wasting your time. Nobody was doing, these sports players was not doing this, guys. When YouTube first came out in the YouTube sports communities, these NBA players, NFL players was not doing this, guys. They weren't doing this. But the fact is, they never made the money we were told on those fugazi ass contracts for entertainment purposes only. Am I saying they're broke or they don't have no? I ain't trying to say that. But you can't tell me they're not even playing sport. That they're hired and contracted to play NBA basketball, and they're sitting up on a podcast during the season. Wow. Oh boy, come on, man. Come on. They act like these fake ass thugs when they didn't even grow up like that. They play basketball, guys. They weren't running the streets. But now all of a sudden they're thugs from the street because they got to attract a certain audience. So they put on a facade and they act like people they ain't. These are guys supposed to make tens of millions and hundreds of millions. Do you think they was mingling with thugs and shit like that? No! But now all of a sudden, they're thugs for the street. They don't know how to speak. Just how it is, guys. Every time I see one of them on a podcast, all I think about is it's unfortunate. It's sad. And I feel bad for them because the public was told these guys are supposed to make hundreds of millions, tens of millions, and millions of dollars, but they're on their podcast and trying to make money. Ask Kwame Brown's ass. Had to start a fake beef with Stephen A. Smith to get his podcast off. They even told you and was questioning. I think it's that guy that was gambling. I forget his name. I think he was playing for Toronto or something like that. But they said this guy made like 80 million or 100 million in his career, something like that. Or he was getting paid like 20, 30 million a year, whatever that was. And they was questioning, like, how could he be gambling if he's making that kind of money a year? And you know what? Why they said that? So many outlets, media outlets, is because they don't want you to ask that question, right? They don't want you to get in front of that and say, how are these guys gambling for what would be like petty change compared to what they're making? Even Damon Jones, even Chauncey Billups. Go see how much this guy made. Tens of millions, guys. How in the hell are you putting your career and your livelihood in jeopardy over that? And why the media came out and questioned that with that Toronto player is because, like I said, they don't want you thinking or using your brain to question why this fool is gambling. Because you're not going to sit there. Most people ain't going to sit there and say, damn, these guys really ain't making this kind of money, guys. That's why he's gambling. That's why they're all gambling, because they're not making that kind of money. The NBA is skating on thin ice, guys. They're literally approaching NHL status. Yes, they get their fans to come to the arena for the most part, but nobody is watching the trash. Nobody. And you would think, with the NBA at an all-time low in ratings, that these players will be showing up to the game to play, especially on big-time matchups, prime-time matchups with two good teams. And you know what the good players say? The hell with it. I'm not doing it. So on a nightly basis, is trash ass games. In the primetime games where you think it's two good matchups, man, I can't wait to see such and such against such and such. Guess what? One of the star players ain't showing up, guys. He ain't showing up. He ain't gonna show up. And this is every night, all the time. This is going on, guys. Every night this is going on. And to me, I don't care. All I see is these players throwing games, guys. They're throwing games. Getting beat by trash-ass teams. Vegas style. So, you see what LeBron James is putting up. He's putting up 22, 6, and then there's 7 on the season. It just shows how weak this era is. And then you have, in his last 10 games, I think he's putting up 25. He's putting up 25, 7, and 7, guys. So it's going to continue for his numbers to go up so he can play another year. That's what this is all about, guys. Him playing next year so he can get more money. If you believe this guy made $1 billion, you're an idiot. Or no, worth $1 billion. If this guy is worth $1 billion, but yet he has to keep playing, guys. Yet his son has to play in the league, guys. $1 billion? Are we serious? Can we use our own brains? This guy made $1 billion off of losing and doing it wrong. That's crazy. Then the NBA is over, guys. Sports in general is over. This guy made $1 billion off of doing it wrong. Not only that, he's one of the least skilled guys in the top 15. He's a poor rebounder at his size. Most of his assists are fugazi. It's a wide open floor. He sucks at shooting. Can't shoot the three. Can't shoot the mid range. Can't shoot free throws. Really has no moves except bear onto the basket. I mean, I'm so confused, guys. He went around about his business doing everything the wrong way so he can get his so-called status by the media because the NBA fans don't approve of the shit. The face of the league literally was being cheered on to lose his entire career. Ever since he went to Miami, he was being cheered against to lose. They wanted the Mavs to kick his ass. They wanted OKC to kick his ass. They wanted Spurs to kick his ass. They wanted Golden State to kick his ass. I never knew no face of any league that happened, guys. But yet they was touting this guy as all this in the face of the league when everybody hated him. That's pretty crazy. I mean, like, wow. You talk about a league being out of reality, guys. Get his ass kicked in the finals. What's he going to do? Where he going to go? Next year, get his ass kicked in the finals. What he going to do? What's he going to do? Where he going to go? Next year. 6 times got his ass kicked in the finals. What is he going to do? Where is he going to go? How about he take his ass home because he sucks? Even with stacking the deck. And everybody got to play his super teams. And then when they beat his super teams, this team had this team had that, and this player didn't do that. Yeah, fool, because you ain't supposed to do it that way. That's why you ain't coming out on top, because it's not organic. That's why. The NBA sucks, guys. And when this clown act leaves, LeBron James, the NBA is really over. Punch the ticket. It's really over, because you can't go back to greatness. Joker ain't selling this league. SGA ain't selling this league. Greek Freak ain't selling this league. They going back to Greece, Serbia, and Slovenia, where the hell Lucas from. Fine, good, great. But they're not selling the league to American people. Where's the NBA? Is it in the United States or is it in Serbia? Is it in Greece? Is it in Canada? Where's it at, guys? These guys ain't pushing the NBA, these international players. So when LeBron James retires, being a clown act, the NBA is over, guys. You can't go back to greatness. They done gave you a clown act all these years, guys, for decades. And now you think you about to go to... Listen, if this guy, if these international players, these top 5 guys has been basically at the top since the 2020s, if they was who they was, we've been told they was, LeBron James would have been gone, man, a long time ago, 5 years ago. But they need him around for the reaction to push the NBA through social media, guys. The NBA is saving millions of dollars not advertising their game. And their top 5 guys ain't got to do it either. LeBron James is a clown show. He feeds everybody, not just the little YouTubers, but also the big YouTubers. Even these ex-sports players, he's feeding them. LeBron James is feeding probably tens of thousands of YouTubers, guys. I ain't made a penny off this shit because ain't nobody gonna talk real as me. That's why YouTube don't want me to make no money. The same shit everybody else be doing, using other videos out there. They try to say I can't do it, and they won't tell me what video it is on my channel. So I can't even go erase it. But guess what? I don't care, guys, because I'm gonna talk that real shit. All these other YouTubers, they gotta say, oh, I can't say this, or I can't do this, I can't say this. Guess what? When you ain't monetized, you can say whatever you want to say and do whatever you want to do. Yes, you might not get the views because they don't want to put your shit out there because you're not monetized. But still, you can say whatever you want. You ain't got to worry about it. That's what these YouTubers do. They say, oh, I'm not doing this for money. And then if they do something wrong, the YouTube said, oh, they did something wrong. They got to go back and fix it because they are doing it for money, guys. Money is evil. When these guys can't say what they want to say, guys, because they gonna mess up their money. It ain't no dude out there talking like I'm talking. You think they're gonna tell you about gambling scandal? Everybody's doing it? Nope. You think they're gonna tell you these players ain't making this kind of money? Nope. They tell you that LeBron James, when he retired, the NBA is over? Look, guys, Michael Jordan just sold his team. The Celtics just sold their team. The Lakers sold their team. Milwaukee Bucks just sold their team. They see the right team on the wall. The best you're gonna get when LeBron James retire is like a Barry Bonds extension steroid scandal. That's all you're gonna get. So when LeBron James retire, you might get something like that. They're gonna talk about him doing steroids just to keep your mind on the NBA, like they was doing in the MLB. Once that Barry Bonds scandal was over, the MLB was over, guys. Everybody stopped watching it because when the steroid scandal smoke cleared and you looked up, you were like, who the hell is all these guys? They don't speak no English. 95% international players. So you were like, who the hell is these guys? We used to have real personalities, American players back in the 90s, the 80s, the 70s. We can go through come on, guys, in baseball. And it's going to be the same thing with basketball. A bunch of international players with no personalities, or with no American personalities that sell the game. It's going to be the same thing. That's why LeBron James is here. And all these international players is nothing but cheap labor, guys. In every market there is in the workplace, whatever you want to say, immigrants are cheap labor when they first come. I'm not trying to say forever, but I'm just saying that's why, companies like these people, because they're cheap labor. They work for cheap when they first come. Ain't got nothing to do with them being harder workers. It's cheap labor, guys. Just a fact. So you're trying to tell me only in sport, even the MLB already admitted this with the Caribbean leagues they started to pay these guys, 50, 100,000 instead of paying American players in the AAA, AA, $1 million a year, $2 million a year before they come up. So the NBA don't want to admit that they're getting all these international players on it cheap. Come on, guys, stop playing. But they're all podcasting and they got to play in other leagues when the NBA season is over to make money. It's really a reality check, guys, because don't ever get out of reality. And that's what this world wants you to do. But yeah, LeBron James putting up 22, 6 and 7 this season. In the last 10 games, he's been putting up 25, 7 and 7. And that's why they kicked Reese off the damn team, because LeBron James can't get his stats. The whole thing is LeBron James having these stats so he can play another year and get this money, guys. And he can be the clown act on top of that. Whether he plays with LA, who knows? Or whether he plays, or he plays with another team. The fact is, you need the stats. It's all to argue that LeBron James can still play. It ain't the actual footage. It's always the stats, guys. So that's what they want. They want his stats to stay up.